Right. Let's open the meeting of the DuBois County Council. Start to pledge allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Like everybody's present at council tonight, so let's start out with the approval of the minutes of November 18th. You can just send out to us. Anybody have any additions or corrections to the meeting minutes?
Make a motion to approve.
I just made a motion. I have a second.
I'll second.
Second, so all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It's good. So, I think first, we have the salary ordinance amendment for the part-time librarian. I think you had sent that out, or someone had sent that out to all of us about the changing the 20 hours to 40 hours per week for the end of the year. So you
Yeah.
can,
He wants to finish it. I meant to get down there today to find out where his status is, but I did not have time. Did not get there.
So I mean, his pay will stay the same.
It's exact same pay. He only has enough money budgeted for the end of the year. The only change was we let him work 40 hours versus 20 hours. And we want to make it retro to November 18th.
And he still will not exceed the amount of dollars that we have in that. Any questions or concerns about that? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve that salary ordinance for the part-time records librarian.
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance.
Okay, Ryan has made a motion. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Sonia has seconded, so further discussion? Otherwise, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, so next here is the 2025 appointments.
I didn't know if you wanted to let him introduce him, or,
Yes,
or do you want to wait until the end? I
it
didn't know.
doesn't matter if you,
It is up to you.
we don't have a real full agenda tonight, so I mean, are you going to have time to stick around? Or?
Yeah. You guys go through whatever you need to if you want to stick around. I'll be here.
I didn't have him on the agenda, but
Okay, we'll just proceed with the meeting. So, okay, so I think we had touched base with, all the ones I have, and I don't know if you have the applications or the appointment.
I have forms.
So what we ended up here with, let's start here with, first of all, the regional sewer district. Dina, you're willing to accept it, to go on, I mean, I know you accepted it the first time, and I guess the appointment really ends here on January 31st, so you're willing to reaccept. And then I had talked to Matt Kramp and David Ring. There are appointments, so they all agreed. So do you want to make a motion, accept those first?
I'll make a motion to accept the appointees for DuBois County Regional Sewer District 4-year term beginning January 31st.
And I will second it, so further discussion. Otherwise, let's vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. So we have,
So you want me to,
I thought that those were separate, kind of,
well, I have,
you're just gonna, do we all sign?
you all sign them. So I have Dina and Matt and David Ring, right?
Yes. And then,
There's Uncle's.
while we're doing that, we can discuss, do you have one for Dan Cullen? I mean, was that a year off or something? I tried to find that last time. What is his-
I have something, but that's in February.
That's, okay, it's in February, but we can still make
Yeah, you can still appoint it.
Only, I didn't know if we were a year off, that's why I figured out.
I don't see one for him.
See, I thought, it
I don't
said-
have a form for that.
It said in our little appointments that it was ending January 31st of 2025, but then I tried to find this email. Somebody sent it to me that said that
Yeah.
it's 2026. Anyway, I thought if you didn't have it, we probably not something we're gonna do.
Don't.
tonight.
Have a form.
So that's what I remember.
We can look at it and check on it for January.
Yeah, I'll check, we can still do it in, I mean, if it's in, we still would have a January meeting to appoint him. On the old form, it says 2025, but anyway, we'll move on here. Jasper, Economic Development Commission, Mark Schmidt. 911 Advisory Board, Alcohol Beverage Commission, Anthony Sang. Area Development Corporation, Mike Plaisner. Region 15 Planning Commission, Meredith Vogel. Park and Recreation Board, I spoke with Mark Daniel, he's wanting to serve again. And Peterborough, the Property Tax Board of Appeals, Greg Abel is agreeable for another, it's a yearly term. And then the Solid Waste Management District Board, Sonia Haas, all acknowledged that they were wanting to serve, so they were, it's open to our approval.
I have Mark Schmidt. Oh, yeah, he's on here. Okay, that's,
So, anyone have any thoughts on that, or do we wanna do them as a group? Unless somebody's got, that wants to make comments about any individual.
Dave isn't on alcohol and board anymore, is he, Dave Green?
he is, but he's commissioner
He's
appointment.
the commission report.
Oh. I just didn't know if he's still doing it.
So,
I think it's okay to do it as a group because we
did
listen to all of them. I think so.
so I'll entertain a motion to approve all the appointees that we just discussed.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Ryan has made a motion, may I have a second?
Second.
Alex.
Alex seconded, so further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? I think Pam is the one that emailed me that I just couldn't find it. I think she had checked.
She's been taking care of it, so
I think she somehow let me know that.
the only thing she has on my list is error in formula. I don't know what that means, so.
So then we, this will move on to additional appropriations. You first, that's
Okay.
what you've got.
I have for Hume Bridge, $93,000 for Bridge 78. I think Brent was here and talked about these.
Yes, Patoka Lake and 600 West. So, any discussion there? I think we talked about this or had a consensus last month. So if there's no discussion, I'll entertain a motion to approve that 93,000 additional appropriation.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Okay, Meredith has made a motion, may I have a second?
I'll second.
Sonia has seconded, so for the discussion, otherwise all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. 7-0.
Out of the edit fund for the courthouse security equipment, $35,000. This is for the scanners and the bag scanner, metal detector.
And before we vote on that, this is not the new security cameras. I think, there was an issue with them trying to change over, get new computers at the security desk over there. I think, and they couldn't get it to work because.
The old program is about 10 years old. It is not compatible with Windows 11, so we're gonna have to do something next year to get the program to run on the new machines, because Windows 10 is going out. So we've got the machine, the new computer over there, we just can't get the program to work on it.
So just so the council's aware, we may have to sort of get Astro Security to take another look at it to see what we have to do with the camera system. So next year, we may have to be spending more money, but this, right now, we had a consensus to approve this, so we'll vote on this is the, like she said, the scanner and that kind of thing for $35,000, so I'll entertain a motion to approve that additional appropriation on lit.
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Okay, Ryan has made a motion, may I have a second? Meredith has seconded. So further discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed?
We're hoping to order this stuff tomorrow and get it in the next few weeks and have it going in the new year, so.
Yes.
That's all the additionals I have. Transfers. I've had to add one more since I sent you the list. In the clerk, she wants to move $1,025 from office supplies to equipment. She wants to replace a printer.
Okay. Any questions or discussion on that? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve that transfer.
Make a motion.
Okay, Ryan has made a motion, I have a second.
I'll second.
Sonia has seconded. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed?
Purdue Extension would like to transfer $1,010 from postage to equipment. And she says, she just asked to change it. She didn't really say why, but I'm assuming it's something to do with computer equipment or something, because it's permanent equipment.
Okay. So discussion on that. Any questions on that? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the transfer of $1,010. Dina has made a motion. I have a second.
I'll second.
Ryan has seconded. Further discussion? Otherwise, all in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed?
When you get to this time of year, everybody's moving stuff around to get it finished. The next one is a personal services, and I always try to bring those to you guys just so you're aware if it's salary related. The adult probation had one person leave and another person start, and they had some overlap time to pay the previous one out. So they want to move $639.01 from comp time to probation assistant.
And how much was that?
$639.01.
Questions on that? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to approve that transfer.
I'll make that motion.
Sonia has made a motion. Looking for a second?
I'll
I'll second it. Mike, further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
The next one is the prosecutor's assistant. It's another salary one that, we had a previous assistant leave payout, so the new one started. They need to move $38.96.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second.
Further discussion? Otherwise, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Okay, and then the last one is I emailed you all about these two new security officers. When they did the budget for next year, they used the lowest wage, and they hired two people with experience, so we're lower than what we should have been. I think I tried to explain that all to you. Their current wage is now $1,892.02 biweekly, and in the budget, they put $1,884.15, which would give them lower salary than what they're making. So I don't know.
How do you recommend we correct that?
Well, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, you guys don't meet till the end of January. Do we want to pay them less and then retro pay them? Do we want to pay them more? I kind of needed your opinion, and I could have whatever ready at the next meeting, but
In December?
I can't do the additional until next year.
If you do it retroactively, would you not have to pay them if they quit before a certain time?
We
Or
would owe them.
Still owe? I thought maybe that'd be a nice option if for some reason they left early and then we didn't have to pay them the back pay for the higher wage.
I would think that would be the easiest way, wouldn't
What would be the easiest way?
it?
I mean, it's just more paperwork. Because you have to keep track of it. Yeah, I think when they did the budget in the fall, they didn't think they would hire people with experience. But then on top of that, we're gonna have 4 new jailers that are gonna get their step up next October, November, but I think we can deal with that in the new year. Okay.
So we're only talking about
The 2 security officers,
Yeah, Parks and Fleming.
right, that's the 2 that, in January, they're gonna get paid less unless we do something about it.
So, I mean, would we have to do anything tonight, or just have a consensus that we would approve them, and then you'd have the paperwork ready for the 30th meeting
Well,
in December?
I would have the salary ordinance, I could have the salary ordinance or consensus that if you guys want to wait and retro pay them, we'll do everything in January, but they're going to get paid less. If you want to pay them the more money, then I can have paperwork ready, but not the money. We won't have the money until January, because I can't do additionals
They
anymore
won't
this
be
year.
paid until January either, though, will they? They won't earn it until.
Well, the way our salary ordinance is now, we have one more paycheck. This next paycheck is the last one for the year. Then everything else goes to next year's rate. When you get paid in 25, you're gonna get 25's rate. And so they would get for this last 2 weeks, they would get lower.
And then they would start making it on January 1st or 2nd or whatever. They would start making the high.
Well, once I get an additional appropriation,
So
yeah, I
I'd say
mean,
whatever.
It's just, I would agree with whatever's easiest for you.
we just don't feel it's right to give them less money for the job they're doing currently.
So why don't we just have a consensus that we'll pay them the 25 wages?
And then we'll get the additional appropriation.
Right. And then we can tonight, and then we'll vote on it on the 30th, right? So we
Well,
can
I'll have the amended salary ordinance to start paying them the right wage, and then we'll do an additional for the January meeting, if that makes sense.
see. Yes.
And then, do you want me to deal with the other one while we're doing it, or you want me to wait with theirs in January?
And that is only because of the 2% increase that they didn't account for. Or did they get?
No, they kept the lower wage for the whole year, and after they're there a year, their anniversary date, they get a bump up, because they're on it's not class,
Why don't we,
it's not the right word.
none of us prefer that we wait if,
For the other
if they
four?
don't earn it
Until probably November or October, November timeframe.
let's wait on that,
Yeah.
because I think we ought to make it,
See, I think in years past, they used to account for those step up in classifications, but I don't know what happened this year. But we can,
unless somebody disagrees, I think I would rather wait, and then, then when they earn it, it's a bigger, it's not
Well,
a bigger deal, but it's more appropriate, I guess.
now, if somebody would leave that's at a higher rate, you could put them in this spot and then move, you can do some of that.
Mhm.
So maybe we should just wait for those four, but we'll just do the 2 security for now.
Yeah, everybody agrees with that, so let's have a consensus that will approve the two, that we would pass the higher wage for Port Parks and Pat Fleming at the courthouse security. So who would approve that? It seems like everyone. And then you'll have that ready for us then. Did everyone
Okay, and then,
sign the nepotism?
okay.
Just a question here that you didn't miss something here, that adult probation, the $597.05 that you had sent on me. Did that change, or did we miss that? Probation assistant to comp time.
I changed it.
Is
We
that-
found an error today, so we changed it to,
It's the 639.
yes, we found an error.
I couldn't figure out where that was, which one that was.
63901, it was 5 something, and we found an error.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, when you do payroll, you find errors. So do the AA in January, do the salary ordinance in December. Okay.
Do we want to, I've got some further discussions on some items. Colton, is it okay if I bring Colton up to just introduce himself and then you would have to hear?
Oh, yeah, don't worry. You guys, I work for you also. Just passing this out. Sorry, I'm kind of on a limb here. I heard this morning that the commissioner voted on, our agreement through you all for the county for fees for services. So I just wanted to make sure I actually show up on time. I've been reading minutes and things and catching up on things that are happening. But wanted to actually put a name and face together for you all as the new executive director of Dubois Strong. So what you have there, pretty hot off the press, is our new kind of strategic plan vision going forward. If you're around economic development, I'm very straightforward. It's nothing new, nothing innovative, nothing super mind-boggling, right? But kind of back to the core, back to the things that we should be doing, we need to be doing. And then as you look through that, it looks great. You can see it all kind of in theory. But the plan is this time next year to take that exact same booklet kind of format and be able to say, hey, we went and visited X number of businesses and to use this much capital in the economy and things like that. That's an easy one to really kind of quantify. Some of the other ones like childcare are a little bit harder. But that's kind of the vision forward, the path forward. And then as we start doing those things the right way, hopefully 3-5 years down the line, we can start doing some new innovative, being the leader in certain areas and aspects as well. So it's kind of want to get that in front of you all, and you'll see that contract come across here soon. Thank you.
Golden, just for your information, I did get the Crow Du Bois County this afternoon.
Yes,
They
yeah.
left it out, so we do have it, and it'll be at the January meeting.
Okay, yeah, and that's, yeah, I just wanted to make sure to show up and that way you get a name and a face. My contact information's in there. I can give you a card, call, text, they all come to the same place for me. But you all represent our single largest investor in our entity. So I want to make sure to be around, be showing up and make some projects happen in the county.
I think in the past, in July, maybe, Du Bois Strong came to kind of give you guys a report for funding for the next year, so you might want to keep that in mind, maybe.
Yeah.
I'll be reaching out to schedule you.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime, anything that you guys come across, hope to be a resource and again, just be present, be around and lead some projects. So yeah, didn't want to take too much of your time. I know I got a light agenda.
And I think, like you say, you feel, we need to feel open to be able to contact you if anything in the community going on. I think you want to be present possibly for that kind of thing.
Yeah, as much as possible. There's eventually going to come a time where it can't make it, can't do it, not in kind of our scope, but things like I know Ferdinand's doing a comp plan, the county's looking into one, Jasper's doing one. We just hope to be involved in some of those things and some of those pieces because, especially for the county, that's kind of the guiding vision plan forward and things that should be done. And we hope we can carry on some of those as well.
Thank you for coming to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Hopefully I'll be at more, and this won't be the first time when I magically have a contract that'll come your way, but hopefully you'll see me more.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you all.
Yes, please?
Yeah.
Is there a pen laying here?
Awesome.
I was gonna say, there used to be, sometimes they walk off.
It's just discussion here, this highway safety, if you all watch the commissioners of the commissioners meeting, the letter that we signed last month on the 60 bridges, application to get that money, that was not submitted, I think, in a timely basis, so we're not going to be eligible for that this year. I think county engineer supposedly is going to try to apply in 2025, so I just wanted to let you know that if you hadn't heard that. The courthouse HVAC control system, those RFPs went out last week, and that will be returned or bid. Hopefully it gets successful contractors that submit bids possibly on the commissioners meeting on January 6th. So we will then know if we had talked about approving the money to move forward, so we'll get the exact amount of money, and if it's something that we feel that we can afford to do, we'll vote on it then and get a consensus to advertise. And then it would be approved at the February meeting. So the ARPA funds, I kind of sent something out there late this afternoon. So I didn't get out sooner, but we had a Zoom meeting, and kind of things like that, as soon as I could get it out. But I don't know if you understood that, but and Sandy, you want to maybe explain it to?
Well, you kind of got something like this, but we've already made a change. We found another, when we went through our clerk deeds and our Baker Tilly, we found just a little bit, but on the bottom, you'll see that I thought I had about 180,000 not allocated,
Yes.
or allocated, not spent.
Right.
We probably won't use it. But right now it's gonna be, I've changed that to 173,409.11.
173.
409.11. I needed a little bit more in the sewer district that I didn't realize. But what we'd like to do, the ARPA audit, when you get audited every year, you pay a federal portion of that, and that's what that money was for. But if we want to not spend that towards the audit and just use our own funds for the audit, then that's one of them, and the financial review, I no longer use Baker Tilly to help us with the audit reporting, so that money probably won't be spent either, so.
So any comments on that, or, I mean, is that something, I think we looked at doing some of that, so it technically supposed to be committed by the end of this year?
Those funds are committed,
Okay.
but I don't think we'll use them. Well, especially the Baker Tilly, we won't use it, so I don't wanna lose it, so we'll just recommit it to the health insurance if that's what you want me to do.
I think that's a good idea. We'll use it there, so.
Yeah, that
expense is
not going away.
It's from one pocket to the other, but we get it kind of cleaned up, I think is what I like about it.
So the only thing that's really gonna be left is on the column, you'll see the remaining. Those things, some of those things are gonna be paid out next week. And then, the two are the sewer district and the Baker Tilly up here in the rocks. So I tried to color code things to help, I don't know,
Thanks.
it gets
A
confusing.
lot of numbers there, but no thanks.
But I mean, Mike, this was your original and I just tried to carry it forward, so.
Yeah, when we sat down in 2022.
Back in 2021,
Yeah, 2021, so.
but we're getting close, I mean, I think we're close enough to have it either all obligated or spent.
Yes. So, I guess for the council's information, does the audit, would they come and audit each one of these?
No, what they do is when they come to do our regular audit, they have another team that does the federal, any federal money you have, and the ARPA has been the biggest, so they audit that. And then they give you a bill just for the federal portion.
Okay.
And so the federal portion is what I've been putting, if you look up on top, like the one year it was $7,770, the next year it was $6,033.87. So I mean, for the next 2 years, we could still be audited and could use that. But if it doesn't reach this 11,000 that we have estimated, then we could lose it. So,
Any further discussion on that? Otherwise, let's just have a show of hands who's approved. Let's move those two things into the health insurance. Technically, is what we're doing.
So again, it's already been committed, it's just that we're moving,
well,
right?
they are already obligated under a contract, but we're not gonna be using that contract. So
we don't
instead
have
of
to, like,
leaving it there,
recommit to, I mean,
we're just gonna move it to, it's revenue loss. All of our stuff is revenue loss. So we'll just recommit it to a different thing that we'll actually spend it on.
I mean, we really don't have to have consensus, but
Right.
just so
Oh,
we all-
sure.
just
Yeah,
so we
no,
all
that's all right.
agree.
And I mean, I don't wanna give you an
Makes
exact
sense.
dollar amount, because if I find an error or if something, we're going through it again. And but we wanna commit that health insurance and we'll get it out of here this year and it'll be done.
That's
So the only thing really left is either something remaining that we don't have an invoice yet for, or, which is what this side over here is with the green, or the sewer district that we're still under contract for. I mean, we have $1 million still under Clark Dietz's contract, which is the number over here.
So then, Precious Angels, you want us
Oh, yeah.
to think about that? That's what I'll go next.
Yeah, so that, I don't know if anyone's been up there to look at that, but that is done. The Precious Angels, that sidewalk and the steps, and is the handrail up yet? Did they do that?
The handrail was up, yes.
And so we're gonna do a check presentation. If anybody wants to come out and take a picture with everyone out there, the Precious Angels and all of them are gonna be, they're gonna be there, and the association that donated the money will be there. And
Do they have a date or timeline yet?
yes, that's what I'm looking for.
I've got it here, the January 24th at 11 a.m. That's
Yep.
Friday morning.
Friday morning at 11. That's right. So if you guys wanna come, it'd be good just to probably say something. It looks good.
You think they had their program yesterday?
Yeah.
There one yesterday, it was a week ago.
Yeah, we
Last
tried to
week?
make it for that, but we couldn't, with our
Okay.
schedules.
Somebody said something about yes this weekend, so I didn't know.
And the only thing we're waiting on yet is the bench. That's like a 6-month lead time. whatever it was surprising, so. But everything else should be good.
Thanks for
Yep.
doing that. If there's any change, make sure you keep us up.
I'll let you know.
Hopefully the weather cooperates.
Hopefully. It was too hard to get this one date, so we're not switching it. This is it.
So I had gotten this, planning the meeting, I don't know if you want to pass that on down and now, if you can read this letter from, Lock Wheeler Group on, did you guys get the read that down here? Oh, you need to pass it down. And so, I mean, if you want to review that, I don't know. So, do you have anything else, Cindy?
No.
So, I just, is there any other public comment? And, I just want to wish everybody Merry Christmas. I appreciate, the work everyone's done this year and Christmas is going to be here, so. But our next meeting is December 30th at 9:30 a.m. And that'll probably be a very sharp meeting and so any questions?
No, I just have one more thing to add. Just let everyone know about the audio and video that we are working on that.
Right.
Working with a guy to try to get a little better quote than what was sent out, and I think we'll accomplish that by a lot. So hopefully January probably, he's got to get the whole setup and the diagram and give us good numbers. So hopefully we'll have some new numbers for us.
So maybe we could get public comment on that. Colton, you must have caught up on a few meetings. So what's your thoughts on how we handle this, or the sound and the?
I didn't think it was too bad. I mean, it's not perfect. It's not terrible. I mean, depends on how quality you want it, I guess. I came from Evansville where there was like screens everywhere and cameras pointed at you. And I would say from my perspective, I don't want to throw a curveball and everything, but some of the document center and things like that has been super helpful. But I would say the YouTube and everything that works has been just fine for what I've been listening for.
We're, sometimes we're tight Germans. We don't want to spend any more money.
No, I don't blame you. I mean, honestly, I think the setup here, again, it's not pristine, and you don't see my face as I stand up there, but it's nothing that's bad.
Sometimes hard to hear on lighter voices and with people presenting. So we've gone through pricing with microphones in front or coming from the ceiling.
Yeah, I will say as that side as you speak, it's a little bit harder sometimes, but it's nothing. I mean, I just turn the volume a little bit.
Not bad for a cheap system put together at the last minute, right?
Yeah. Maybe I'm young, but
So, any of the council members have anything else to add? Okay. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to close the meeting.
I'll make that motion to adjourn.
One second.
Got first and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Close the meeting, Voice County Council. Can you hang around a little bit while I get these on?
I've got a stack over there yet.
Sorry.
so I just wanted to hang around. I'm happy to talk